I kissed him to see if there was still a spark. She admitted about her ex. Keep checking, I said, and left. 6 months later, she drunk texted me at 2 a.m. that he's cheating again. I didn't respond. I remember the exact moment those words left her mouth. Not because she said them dramatically, not because she was crying or angry or flustered, but because she said them casually, like she was telling me she forgot to buy milk. Her name was Madison, and we had been together for a little over 2.5 years. We lived together. Shared bills, shared routines, shared dreams, shared futures we talk about late at night in that half-asleep way where you feel more honest than you ever will in daylight. And then she dropped that sentence into the middle of an otherwise normal Tuesday evening, and everything in my life rearranged itself in slow motion. We were sitting on the couch in our apartment in Portland, the kind with exposed brick and windows that rattle when buses passed. She was curled up on one end with her knees tucked under her, scrolling through her phone too quickly for a relaxed night. I was on the other side, half watching a show, half watching her because she'd been off all week. She'd been guarded, distant, doing that thing where she bites the inside of her cheek when she's hiding something. I didn't want to assume anything. I trusted her, or at least I trusted the version of us I thought was real. She kept locking her phone every time I glanced over, which wasn't like her. Usually she shoved memes in my face and made me pause shows so she could watch TikToks with me. But she wasn't doing any of that. She was somewhere else inside her head, and I felt the gap growing even though she was sitting 3 feet away. So I asked her gently, "Hey, are you okay? You've been weird since Friday." She froze for half a second, then forced a tiny, fake smile. "I'm fine, just tired." But her voice cracked on the last word. I kept watching her, waiting. Eventually she sighed like someone deflating and said, "I don't know how to say this without you flipping out." I told her I wasn't going to flip out. I meant it. At the time, I genuinely believed nothing she said could shake me like that. I thought we were stronger than secrets. I thought she saw me as safe. She tucked her hair behind her ear, avoided my eyes, and whispered, "I saw Ethan last weekend." Ethan, the ex, the one she told me she blocked, the one she said manipulated her and played with her head, the one she swore she was done with forever. I felt something cold slide down my spine, but I kept my voice even. "Okay, why?" She swallowed, then added too quickly, "It wasn't planned." I asked, "Did you talk?" She nodded, just for a minute. My chest tightened, but I stayed calm. I asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" She didn't answer right away. She kept staring at the floor. And that's when I knew it wasn't just talking. Something happened, and she was trying to work up the courage to say it. When she finally did, she said it like she was ripping off a Band-Aid. Fast, blunt, thoughtless. I kissed him to see if there was still a spark. Just like that. No emotion. No apology. No fear in her voice. Just information. Dropped like a stone into water. For a moment, everything in the room went silent. I swear even the refrigerator stopped humming. Not because I was in shock, though I was, but because she said it with zero regard for what it would do to me. She wasn't confessing. She was testing me, measuring my reaction, waiting to see if I would panic or cling or beg, waiting to see if she still had power over me, waiting to see if I still needed her more than she needed me. And maybe if she cried or trembled or looked guilty, maybe some part of me would have tried to fight for us. Maybe I would have tried to understand. But she didn't. She just looked at me with that strange mixture of curiosity and superiority, like she'd done something bold and wanted credit for being honest. Something inside me cracked, but not loudly. It felt like a quiet, precise break, like a bone snapping clean under skin. I stared at her for a moment, waiting to feel anger or jealousy or heartbreak, but what came instead was clarity, crystal clear, cold, final. I stood up. She blinked. "Where are you going?" "Keep checking," I said, "if there's still a spark." Her mouth opened, but nothing came out because she didn't expect that answer. She expected tears, yelling, bargaining. She expected drama. She expected me to chase her, to make her feel valuable again. But instead, I grabbed my keys. She sputtered, "Wait, can we talk about this?" "No," I said quietly. "We already did." And I walked out. I didn't slam the door. Didn't say another word. Didn't look back. I left her sitting there with her breakup experiment crashing down around her. I drove without thinking. Ended up at my friend Kyle's apartment across town. He opened the door half asleep and didn't ask questions. Just let me in, handed me a beer, and sat beside me while I tried to breathe through the numbness. Around midnight, the messages started. First, can we please talk? Then, you're being dramatic. Then, it was just a kiss. Then, you told me you'd love me even when I screw up. Then, please come home. Then, I'm sorry. Then, I didn't mean it like that. Then, he kissed me first. Then, I was confused. Then, say something. Then, why aren't you answering? I didn't answer. Not that night. Not the next day. Not the day after that. I stayed at Kyle's for a week while she spiraled through apology, anger, guilt, manipulation, confusion, and denial like she was speedrunning the stages of grief. She called 57 times in one day. Left voicemail sobbing. Left voicemails annoyed. Left voicemails calling me immature for not wanting to talk. I blocked her number. She switched to email. I blocked her email. She messaged me on Instagram. Blocked. She messaged Kyle. Blocked. She started leaving notes on my car at work. I had to tell HR. They told security. She eventually stopped. But during that week, the strangest thing happened. The longer I stayed away, the clearer everything became. The relationship I thought was stable was actually one-sided emotional labor. The loyalty I gave so effortlessly wasn't mutual. The trust one felt was built on my own assumptions. I thought she chose me, but really she chose safety, stability, predictability, until the moment she panicked that she might be missing something exciting, and she ran back to the last source of chaos she knew. It wasn't about me. It wasn't even about him. It was about her fear of being ordinary. The following month was quiet, painfully quiet. Going back to the apartment felt like walking through the ruins of something I once believed would last. Her toothbrush still in the bathroom, her sweatshirt still on the dresser, her perfume still lingering in the closet. But she was gone. Her mom picked up her things while I was at work. No note, no explanation, just absence. I thought that was the end of it. And then, 6 months later, at 2:08 a.m. on a Saturday, my phone lit up with a number I didn't recognize. A long message came through. It was her. You were right. He cheated again. Then a second message. I should have never left you. Then a third. I miss you. Then a fourth. Please talk to me. Then a fifth. I'm sorry. Please. I stared at my phone for a long moment, and then I put it face down on my nightstand and went back to sleep. In the morning, I read them again just to make sure I wasn't dreaming. I wasn't. She'd spent 6 months trying to recreate chaos with a man who'd already proven he wasn't safe for her. And now she wanted to crawl back into the stability I gave her. But stability isn't something you get to revisit after you burn it down. A week later, my buddy showed me her Instagram story. A black screen with white text. Some people don't know how to forgive. Another, when you love someone, you fight for them. Another, he'll regret losing me. I didn't regret it. Not then. Not now. Not ever. 2 months after that, I ran into her at a grocery store. She looked smaller somehow. Nervous. Fidgety. She walked up to me like she was approaching a wild animal. She said hi. I said hi. She said she missed me. I said I hoped she was doing better. She asked if we could talk sometime. I said no. She asked if there was anything she could do. I said, learn why you needed to test something that wasn't broken. She teared up and said she made a mistake. I said, everyone does, but not everyone destroys the person who loved them to figure it out. She whispered, I didn't think you'd actually leave. And that's when it all clicked. She didn't cheat because she wanted him. She cheated because she didn't think I'd go anywhere. She thought my love was a net she could fall into over and over again, no matter how many times she cut it. She thought I would cushion her consequences forever. But leaving wasn't revenge. Leaving was respecting myself. She wiped her eyes, nodded slowly, and said, okay, I get it. But she didn't. Not fully. Not really. Because people who test love like that never understand the moment they break it. They only understand the moment they lose access to it. I haven't heard from her since. Kyle later told me she moved to California with a friend and started therapy. I genuinely hope it helps her. As for me, I'm good. Better than good. My life is simple now. Peaceful. No roller coasters. No test disguised as confessions. No love that feels like a pop quiz I didn't study for. Here's what I learned. You don't lose someone who kisses another person to see if they still feel something. You lose someone when you stay with them after. And I wasn't willing to lose myself. He cheated again, and I still didn't respond. Because her consequences aren't my responsibility. My peace is.